So when, for the benefit of governor, he would know this, when 4 years back, when this whole theme opened up of the $5 trillion economy target, eyebrows were raised. There were skeptics as to what is this being talked about. But sir, you will be really happy to know, yesterday in the inaugural address, the tone of the speakers were how fast we are going to cross the $5 trillion and close the gap between China and India. That was the content with which these two speakers led us yesterday. So in the inaugural session, sir, these two great speakers gave a lot of mega parameters as to how the gap is being closed and how the Prime Minister's intent of connecting the country to the UN declared sustainable development goals, and what are all the initiatives of the government of India like Atmanirbhar Bharat, and how these things are going to propel us forward. These were very beautifully linked by these two speakers yesterday, paving way for us to subsequently discuss in 4 important technical sessions how do we align with these macro trends which are already in place. In this context, the stellar role of India and how it's shining today in the Committee of Nations with an outstanding economic performance which the whole world is really looking at, that was very clearly laid down for us. So following this macroeconomic level presentation, raising the enthusiasm level and our aspiration from our profession to align with that, 4 important technical themes befitting what has been given by the government to us were all discussed. The first one being the first important theme which followed this important session was how in the crucial healthcare sector and the pharma sector, which propelled into the global significance during the pandemic phase, what is really happening in the whole world, and how is it India has been now correctly placed following the success in the vaccinating the whole world. All those parameters were discussed by these two speakers who came from the healthcare and the pharma sector and laid the foundation that all the conditions are really set for the country to play a real global role. In this context, we were very clearly told that the cost and management accountants should now prepare themselves for a very clear strategic thinking as to how our vision should go beyond. Not only we should support the Atmanirbhar Bharat and Ayushman Bharat, but go beyond that and how to look at the global opportunities and be a health capital of the whole world, as well as look at opportunities of being a great pharma country in the whole world. All these opportunities were discussed, and the CMA profession was well connected in this aspirational 2 great sectors which are going to propel us beyond the $5 trillion economy. Following this, in the second technical session, sir, a very important theme close to the heart of the central government today, how the landscape in the agricultural sector is going to transform in terms of indoor farming and smart farming. And particularly, you will be very fascinated to know, sir, many of the queries from the audience were more in agricultural sector rather than the manufacturing side for which CMA is normally known for. So how the technologies are going to impact the smart farming, the indoor farming, and how the fertilizer management process will be going on. These issues were discussed in very great detail, and the speakers in fact brought out how exactly the cost and management accounting profession can become a key enabler in these 2 important sectors, namely the agricultural sector in supporting a smart farming and indoor farming, and very effectively managing the fertilizer subsidy processes in the country. These were very aptly discussed. Following these 2 technical sessions, the discussions were in great detail today because the MSME sector is constituting the backbone of the economy, the benefits which have been introduced to the MSME sector, and how the Indian MSME sector can galvanize itself in encashing these benefits and support the propel forward was discussed in very great detail. And this was also followed by how efficiency can be improved in the MSME sector by looking at Kaizen initiatives, engineering initiatives. These were discussed in very great detail so that the MSME sector can definitely play a very, very major role in having a deep
guidance note on MSME, where more than 600 schemes are available to MSMEs, with which MSMEs, our members were able to advise the MSMEs, and we were able to have economically come out of successful after the pandemic. So MSME is a backbone of the economy, and MSME is the one which is providing employment and other growth opportunities for the big industries and nation also. So we were able to support the MSMEs with our suggestion how to have a sustainable growth, sustainable opportunity, so that they were able to continue the business. During pandemic, they were not able to operate. So their fixed costs, they have to incur. And the variable costs, of course, we will be able to avoid. And semi-variable, semi-fixed, we were able to analyze, we were able to advise them so that we are able to come out of the situation. Same way, our government, as you know, that the vaccination we were able to produce, and we are supplying to whole world the vaccination, which has been recognized very well in the country. So as far as the agriculture sector is concerned, we were always coming with a lot of guidance note, technical support, how the farmer's income can be multiplied. It is not only doubling the farmer's income, it is how it can be multiplied. We have conducted a program in last August, where our Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari was a chief guest, and where more than 550 FPOs were participating, and we were able to bring the cost sheet, how the cost sheet can be managed, how the cost of production in agriculture can be differentiating, how they will be able to have the value-added product, and so that FPOs will be able to implement, get the product, and agricultural farmers will be able to get the benefit. So we were conducting a lot of events and program for agriculturists, and yesterday also we have discussed regarding agriculture costing, and with the Agriculture Price Commission we have met and we have discussed also. And the production incentive scheme, where the Atmanirbhar Bharat is important. The local content certificate is provided by cost and management accountants, so that industry is able to get the benefits of incentive what is given by the central government. So all the schemes and wherever we are moving, we are going with the mind that the industry should be benefiting and the economy should be progress, and great opportunities are being provided. The industry has recognized our role, and they are able to provide support to our institute also. In fact, in the last convocation, our President, Vice President, Jaydeep Dhankhar has addressed our convocation, and it has created a lot of impact. And yesterday in campus placement, more than 90% of our members have been able to get employment, and the salary is mind-boggling. It is the freshers, they were able to get more than 30 lakhs salary, and which is in the social media also. And many of the companies are entering interest in cost and management accountants. We are for the sustainable growth of the industry. We are able to analyze what is required for the industry, various costs, how the cost reduction can be done, the cost management can be done, where the value-added products can be sold. So the industry is very much recognized as, and at all the regions, our campus placement is going excellently well. Our members are getting a lot of opportunities in various areas also. For a government incentive, I wish to inform the audience and our respectable chief guest that we had a discussion with the Honorable, our Defence Minister, Honorable Rajnath Singh, and our institute is going to provide skill-based training to army personnel. Overall, retiring in the year is more than 60,000 army personnel are retiring, and we are going to give them the training so that they will be having a gaining value-added employment instead of going as a security or something. So we are already had a discussion with the Army Chief, all the Navy, Army, and Air Force. All the three we already discussed. We are going to provide that. Same way, Agnivir project also will be involving, and we are providing that required technical support to personnel, so that they will be really able to create value-adding employment, and they will not be going as a stray. So these are all the things we are doing. Our institute is progressing very well. Whatever the scheme required by the government with the Finance Ministry or Securities Exchange of Board of India, SEBI, we had a discussion, and we are creating the social regulatory organization also, so that we'll be able to take up the opportunities. Whether it's a insolvency professional, our valuation professional, our internal audit, we are always supporting the government initiative and coming out with technical advice and technical support. In the international IFAC, International Federation of Accountants, we are the leading body. We are the first professional institute in the world to come out with the cost accounting standard and the cost auditing and assurance standard, which is being recognized by IFAC and other international bodies, which they are also, other countries are able to follow our guidance notes and our technical support. So we always move forward, think forward, and for a sustainable growth of the industry and nation and national progress. Whether it's a service sector or manufacturing sector or hospitality industry, we are doing it. We have inaugurated the diploma in healthcare management with the Ramachandra University 2 days before, and more than 100 students have been registered for this. So healthcare of the people is very much important. Where the cost management is required in the hospitals, how much they are able to get, how they are able to support the patients, those things will be analyzed in the certificate course in healthcare management. We have introduced agricultural cost management, diploma in agriculture management with the IGNOU University, where number of our members will be able to benefit, and the agriculture farmers will be able to get the real benefit and implementation of cost management. So with all this, we are always moving forward, and we provide the required support to the various authorities, government and organizations. According to Abraham Lincoln, I may walk slowly, but I never move backwards. According to Ben Johnson, if I am walking backwards, I always take for a long jump. Our input motto is always move forward progressively for the nation building. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I am very much thankful to our governor who is making our dream coming true. Our former president, Chandra Vadwaji, has, in coordination with the governor, he was able to make the governor to attend our function. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good day.
Thank you, sir, for your special address. It's now time for the release of the souvenir. I request our Honorable Governor to release the Regional CMA Convention Souvenir 2022. Sir, please. Souvenir. Souvenir is being released by our Honorable Governor. It contains the knowledge pack of the 2 days discussion. A group photograph, please. Can we have a grand round of applause? It's a golden day in the history of SIRC that the souvenir is being released by the Honorable Governor. We thank all the sponsors and other people for contributing articles and supporting us. Thank you, sir. Now it's time to hear from our Honorable Governor, for which we have been waiting for a 2 days duration. Valedictory address by Thiru R.N. Ravi, our Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu.
Thiru P. Raju Iyer, President, Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Thiru Shankar P. Panikar, Chairman, Southern India Regional Council. Thiru Vijay Kiran Agastya, Secretary, Southern India Regional Council. Thiru N. Raman, former President, South Asian Federation of Accountants. Eminent persons from the domain of financial services, finance experts, distinguished invitees, gracious ladies and gentlemen. Anaivarkum Vanakkam. 2 days you had a very purposeful, meaningful, constructive engagement with each other. And I am sure that now you are all going back to your respective places, rejuvenated intellectually, rejuvenated morally, as well as rejuvenated socially. It will give you a lot of strength for your future and keep you in good stead. Finance is crucial to every endeavor of human being. And whichever endeavor, whichever enterprise, if you are not there, maybe because of ignorance of the people, those who are in those organizations, or maybe you have not been able to make them literate about the utility of what you are doing. Because cost management and accounting is so crucial to everything that human being does. I was just told that you had several verticals, several topics on which you deliberated: pharmaceuticals, agriculture, MSMEs, digitization. These are very, very important sectors of our Indian economy and, in fact, India's life. As far as your trade is concerned, what you are doing, you know better. And those of you who are young among this in the community, you have veterans with far more experience who will teach you, who will guide you, or maybe you can learn by observing them. To me, you are a section of crucial nation builder. Everything depends on optimum utilization of financial resources. And there, your role, I also heard that perhaps some leaders have advised or exhorted you to not only be in the sphere of just cost management and accounting, but also then be the part of the strategic thinking. I really wonder how come it has not come so far. Because one who knows how to manage how efficiently you manage your finance, which is the lifeblood of any enterprise, any endeavor, how they cannot be the part of the strategic community of that organization in the where decisions are taken about the shape and future of the organization. I think if it is not, again, either there is some kind of a lack of communication or lack of inadequate appreciation. Because you are just not in the business of just bookkeeping. You know, the theme, I was looking at it, the changes in the business landscape. The change is happening everywhere, in all aspects of our life. And change is happening very fast. In the fast changing landscape, you have not only to keep pace with it, but many a times you should aspire to be the driver of change by being ahead of the curve. And how do we do that? Today, I heard we are also talking about digitization and all. You know, this technology is changing, is in a way that is at times looks overwhelming. By the time you get used to, you are getting used to, not even got used to, a particular technology, something far smarter is there. Now, in this kind of fast-changing landscape, all of you, those who are in the crucial business of looking at the finance and its optimum utilization, I think you have to be versatile. You cannot just keep yourself within the silos of your trade so far. The element of your skill set has to be keeping yourself abreast with the latest technology, which is going to change the shape of the world, is going to change the way in which we conduct our business individually, in our personal life, in our family life, in our professional life. It's very, very important. And it may be difficult for the older generation, but certainly it should not be for those who are young or young entrants. Friends, I know, I'm conscious of the fact that we are at the valedictory session. And everyone here is perhaps thinking about the next step, going back to your respective domains and destinations. As I told you that I am not here, I'm not competent enough to talk to you about your trade, the craft of your business. But certainly I would like to urge you, as a parting message, or you can call it an appeal to all of you, to keep in mind. You know, first of all, you need to be conscious of how crucial is your role. Many times I have seen many of our professionals are not fully aware of, they don't even fully comprehend how important is their role. Because in the day-to-day business, they're doing the things they believe that is the routine and that's what they do. But if you look at how crucial is your role, be conscious of that. Then I would urge you to be conscious of a contemporary context. The context is, of course, is the changing landscape. It is there. But in the context of our country, when we say that you are a crucial element of our nation building, then the state of the nation, where we are. You know, our country is at the cusp of a revolutionary transformation. Comprehensive transformation is happening in almost every domain of our individual and collective life. Impact of some are being felt, have started getting felt, getting palpable. Some are not yet, but these will be felt tomorrow. But we are passing through a revolutionary transformation. You all know that we are in the Amrit Kal of our country. And Amrit Kal, you all know that it is the next quarter century of our nation building. The next quarter century is important because by the end of it, we would be completing 100 years of our independence. And when India becomes 100-year independent, where should it be? The country is moving forward with a clear sense of destiny and a resolve to accomplish the destiny within the time frame. And what is our destiny? The destiny, as spelled out by the Prime Minister, is Atmanirbhar Bharat, Darsharpa Bharatam, self-reliant India, which would be the core, a strength of what we say is Ore Bharatam, Unnat Bharatam, Ek Bharat, Shreshth Bharat. And when we say Shreshth Bharat, what does it mean? And when we say Ek Bharat, what does it mean? Here, when I say that you keep that state of the nation in your mind, because many of the young professionals, young finance professionals, you would be there in 2047, mostly at the helm of affairs, and then you would be asking a question to yourself, what have you done to bring the country to achieve its destiny? What was your contribution? You would do the stock taking. This journey of next 25 years for all of us, we are all uniquely placed to be a witness and a partner both of this revolutionary transformation. But those who are young, you have a special responsibility. You have long-term planning. And you have to move forward with that determination. When we say Shreshth Bharat, what does it mean? First of all, to have a full grasp of, an emotional grasp of what it means, you have to understand Bharat, what Bharat is. The Constitution of India, Article 1 of the Constitution says, India, that is Bharat. It doesn't stop at India. It doesn't stop at India, that is British India. It says India, that is Bharat. And unfortunately, there has been not adequate understanding of this Bharat. And when we say Shreshth Bharat, what does it mean? I don't know how many of you are aware that India was the economic powerhouse of the world till 18th century. From the 1st century till 18th century, India was the most dominant economic power in the world. This is there in the OECD report. OECD had commissioned a study which was provoked by a study presented by Paul Baroch, an economic historian. When Paul Baroch said in 1972 that Europe became rich in last 200 years, America became rich in last 100 years. Until then it was India which was the economic powerhouse of the world. The OECD countries, they were very skeptical. It was difficult to believe. They wanted to reject and denounce that report. And so they commissioned a study under the chairmanship of Professor Angus Madison. And the committee led by Angus Madison published a report which is available on the net. World Economy, a Millennial Perspective. The World Economy, a Millennial Perspective. It tells about the economy of the world from the 1st century onward. And you should be proud that till about 12th century, India was more than 33% of the global GDP was India's. And even till 18th century, it was about 28% of the global GDP. There was no America, there was no Europe. China was the next. Now what happened in the last 200 and odd years, 250 years? When we say about Shrestha Bharat, what we mean is, can we go back and restore most advanced country in the world? If it was there for 1800 years, and if it has not happened, and if the damages have happened in the last 250 years or so, it is not something which is irretrievable. It is not something which cannot be undone. But this can be done only with the right spirit, with the emotional involvement of each and every one of us. And that emotional involvement comes only when we know what Bharat was and what we mean by Bharat. Which was the Bharat which was the economic powerhouse of the world for 1800 years. Because a country which was the economic powerhouse of the world could not have been just economic powerhouse. There must have been a strong, robust education system, technology system, everything which helped India to be the economic powerhouse. So, it is important that we, especially, I'm addressing to the younger people, to spend some time in understanding what is Bharat. And to understand Bharat, you cannot understand from the Western notion of a nation state. Because India, this Bharat has been unique. First of all, people of this country did not call themselves Indian. India was only when the British came and they started calling, and they started teaching us English, we started calling it India. All our ancient literatures only talk about Bharat. When Mahakavi Bharati mentioned about Bharat Mata, Sepu Modi Padane Todiyal Anil Chintanai Ondru Odiyal. This Bharat, he didn't say about India. When he talked about Bharat, it says, Vedam Ulayad Indanal, Nalla Virar Pirinda Indanal, Chedam Illada Hindustanam, Ida Daiva Menru Kumbittadi Papa. When Bankim Chandra Chatterjee sitting in Bengal, he talked about Bande Mataram. He talked about Bharat Mata. What is that Bharat? If you understand, you feel, you have a feel for it. This Bharat cannot be understood with the Western notion of a nation state. Because Western nations, Western countries were not created the way Bharat emerged. Western states were created by force. How was America created? United States of America? We all know. It's not too far back in history. Some people from the Britain went over to America, North America, captured the territory, killed the natives, subsequently annihilated the natives, captured, settled, and United States of America emerged. Canada emerged in the same way. It was the first French. Later on, British went and they chased the French out and they occupied it. Most of the countries of Europe have also born out of force. There was some Bahubali, some powerful man who controlled, who captured the territory and made it. Bharat was never built or ever ruled by one ruler. And that is why many people who are trained In the Western notion of, of the nation state, they ask you, what are you talking about, governor? Tell me who was the ruler who ruled the India at one point of time. I don't blame their ignorance, because this is how they have been trained. 2005 years ago, when Adi Sankaracharya went from south to Badrinath, Josimath, there were many kings and kingdoms, rajas, maharajas. He didn't bother about them. He went and built that. He went to the west, set up in Dwarka. In the east, he went to Puri. They were not concerned about the rulers, kings in between. The society was one. When a little later Ramanujacharya moved from here, he went to Kashmir. He went to Kamrup, which is Assam today. Did he bother about which kingdom he was passing through? He didn't. 2,400 years ago, during the time of Chandragupta Maurya, the most powerful ruler of Maurya dynasty, with the capital at Patliputra. His Rajguru, Bhadrabahu, with 12,000 disciples, Shramanas, he marched from Patliputra, came to Mysore, near Sravan-Belgola, established his mutt there. All the kings of the south patronized him, welcomed him. Bhadrabahu did not care about which was the kingdom he was passing through. From time to time, people from one end have moved to the other and created institutions of unity. We all know that Buddhism in China was taken from India. How? Of course, Buddhism everywhere went from India, because this is the birth of Buddhism. So how did Buddhism go to China from here? It was a Pallava prince in the early centuries of the first millennia who renounced, like Gautam Buddha, his position to be the anointed as a king. He left. He went with his about 1,000 people. He went to Nalanda, studied there. He became Acharya. He was christened as Bodhidharma. He taught there. He came back and he went by sea route to China. And the Chinese ruler embraced him, gave him the place at Shaolin where he built the monastery. We all we have seen the Shaolin monastery in the film. Those of you who have gone there, you see their writing at the Shaolin monastery gate, how Bodhidharma went from here and he established the monastery. It was when he went from here to Nalanda, he didn't bother about who was the king. It was the philosophy that went from Bharat to China was by a person who went from one end of the India, one end of Bharat to the other, studied and went abroad. "600 years ago, a great saint from Assam, Kamrup, Mahapurush Shankardev, he lived for 119 years. At the age of 30, he came. He came to this land, what today we call Tamil Nadu. He went to Rameshwaram, he studied. It was a great center of learning. He came to Kanchipuram, that was a great center of learning. He studied there also. And then he went back to Kashi. He studied there. And then he went back to Kamrup. And the first poem that he composed was Dhanya Dhanya Bharat Bhumi, in praise of Bharat. Nearly 550 years ago, Guru Nanak Dev came from Punjab, which is today it falls in Pakistan, in fact. He came all the way. He came to Rameshwaram. He came to all the places in the country, north to south, east to west. He was inspired by the Bhakti movement, which was initiated here by Alwars and Nayanmars. Nearly 400 years ago, when from Dharmpuram Adhinam, Kumar Gurbar, when he went to Kashi and he set up Kedariswar temple, There he recited Kambar Ramayana, and Tulsidas was so influenced that he composed Tulsi Ramayana. Numerous, there is no end to the stories. To understand Bharat. So, this, if you understand this country, this nation, and you feel for it, whatever you do, wherever you are, whichever field you are, in your personal, professional, organizational, whichever capacity you are, do things for your benefit, your prosperity, but keep in mind that what you are doing, it is also going to build the nation. I was told 5 trillion economy. 5 trillion economy might look, by a statistical calculation as if it is by this rate, how to achieve and all that. I know there are technical difficulties it can be. It is well appreciated. But I don't think when we have a dream of 2047 where the India should be, the 5 trillion is enough. This country has been achieving incredible targets in the last few years. We have seen in various fields. Every field which we have chosen, we have crossed the target, we have gone beyond that. This is the strength of our people. Because there has been a fundamental change in the way we look at our nation and the way we look at its destiny. At the national leadership, this change is so manifest. We don't look at this nation as conglomeration of different people inhabiting different geographies, living together and maybe governed by Constitution of India. Bharat is much, much older than the Constitution of India. Constitution of India did not create Bharat. British did not create Bharat. In fact, British, when they left, they had left it a highly moth-eaten Bharat with about more than 565 independent countries within India. They never thought that this country would survive. Thanks to the genius and boldness of Patel, that all this, its territorial integrity was restored, notwithstanding the fact that the part was cut off through partition. Today, the national leadership looks at this country not as a geography, not as at a place where different people live, but as a one family. Diversities are variations. They are variations with an underlying unity. The unity which recorded history tells you since the time of Adi Sankaracharya, all through the history. This is a family. And we have to restore the glory of this family. Earlier thinking of this being a geography which the British wanted us to believe, it led us loss of territory in POK, loss of territory to China, in Aksai to China. No, no longer. Every inch of this land is a part of our being. We cannot say that our little finger is less important. If something happens to it, the whole body suffers. We cannot let that happen. And that is why all the attempt today is to see that the country as a whole progresses. That is why the most crucial things like health, education, infrastructure, absolutely there is no discrimination between which state is governed by which political party. And even because the earlier mode of development was essentially Darwinian. When you had a limited resource, a smarter people, they got more resources and they developed, so there was a lot of regional imbalances. South developed, North did not, West developed, East did not. And even in the areas which were developed, there were a lot of sub-regional imbalances. We know in Tamil Nadu itself, which is a very, very progressive state, you have a lot of areas far, far behind, even the national average. And that is why, with a comprehensive development, all-inclusive development, the concept of aspirational district came. We too have about 3 districts in Tamil Nadu which are aspirational. Means the districts which are behind, they have to be uplifted. We have about 120 districts in the country which are aspirational, to which a special attention is being given, irrespective of which political party is ruling in that state. Those districts have to come up, catch up with the most advanced in the state. We don't look at this country in terms of narrow political interest. We don't look at this country in terms of diversities as differences. We look at the country as a family and diversity as beautiful variations. We are about 300, 200, 300 people sitting here. None. I mean, no two of us are alike. We are all different looking. But essentially, there is something common among all of us that keeps us united. Not only by way of your profession that you are a member of cost management and accounting family, but the fact much deeper than that. This Bharat lives in us, in our heart. It lives us subconsciously. Make it conscious. It lives us in our day-to-day rituals in our houses, which we perform without being conscious of it. Just be conscious of this Bharat. And then you will feel the urge. And with your urge will come the change that will transform the country, that will transform the nation to its destiny. Friends, you are at the end of the 2 days. I don't wish to take your more time. Go back to wherever you are, wherever you came from. Be happy. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. Take care of your profession. While doing all this, think in the back of your mind about the nation, about the country, about the Bharat. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. பாரத நாடு பழம்பெரும் நாடு, நாங்கள் அதன் புதல்வர்கள். You have made an impression on the life of the CMAs. Your words are the source of inspiration to keep us on the progressive path forward. நன்றி மறப்பது நன்றன்று. Now it is time for the formal vote of thanks by CMA Vijay Karan Agastya, Secretary SARC.
Most respected Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Shri R.N. Ravi, guests on the dais and off the dais. What a wonderful evening we had, isn't it? What a wonderful evening. This is the best culmination that we could have dreamt of. Governor sir, it's an absolute delight to listen from you the clarity of what a cost and management accountant is. Many times we ourselves struggle, as you rightly said, to communicate it to the businesses and industries. It was an absolute delight to know the clarity that you have about cost and management accountants, the role that we can play all the way from the transactional all the way up to the strategic level. And the ease with which Governor was moving from history to economics to literature and whatnot, an expert at many areas. When we actually met him to invite him for this session, he said, what would I do in this group of intellectual cost accountants? That is the humble governor that we have. So nice to learn a lesson in itself through you, sir. You have talked about several saints who have come from Assam to Rameshwaram or Punjab to Tamil Nadu or any other parts of India to Tamil Nadu, sir. For us, The saint that has come today is Shri R.N. Ravi from Bihar, all the way to enlighten us, to excite us, to have audacious goals and contribute to the nation. We do not look at you as somebody who did a guest talk for us or a chief guest. You have been an inspiration for all of us. Thank you very much. I'll just take a moment to thank all the regional council members, central council members, past presidents, past SAFA president, all our members who have spent 2 long days. As I said yesterday, time is money. You have spent millions with us. All our sponsors, especially to Bank of Baroda for making this event happen. Like I said, the rubber hit the road yesterday, but a lot of effort was put in days ago, weeks ago by all our office staff and all the committee members. I thank you all. I also thank the media and press coverage for making it happen today. Thank you all. We definitely take it as an oath, sir, that we go back. We continue to upskill, we continue to strengthen our bonding with the industry and the government and continue to add value to the industry and to the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vijay. Now we shall have a group photo with the Honorable Governor. I request the council members to join us for a group photograph along with the MC team.
Sir, okay, sir.